Hey there, every peoples. This is my video coverage of the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County's field trip to Red Rock Canyon in the not-so-glorious year of 2011. So yeah, enough chit-chat. I'm gonna just let you watch it now.
Typical morning in the desert. Greeted by a scorpion.
He's dead.
No, it's not live. Oh, you sure about that? Alright, there we go. Little scorpion. So far. Yeah, I can't zoom in too much. Or can I?
Welcome, Red Rock Canyon. Woo! Woo! So I'm going to do a brief orientation. I'm gonna introduce the staff first, and then we're gonna have Jesse talk about safety and what we need to do in that with water and stuff. It's gonna be really hot this weekend. And then do a brief kind of thing of what kind of fossils potentially you can find. And then I'm going to do. Then after that, we'll take the group over on the other side of the vehicles there. We're going to do a quick demonstration on how to look and find fossils real quickly, and then we're going to go out and hopefully we'll find more stuff. Okay. All right, so I'm Gary Takeuchi. I'm now at the Page Museum. I'm Gary Takeuchi from there. Yay! It's Tar Baby. So this weekend for the food we have Camping Pros again. Woo! And this program is a joint program with the Education Division downtown, and so we couldn't do it without them. Yay! So on staff,
it's a miracle, hallelujah!
Brianna.
Woo!
Kim.
Yay!
This time we're fortunate that we have 3 gallery interpreters out with us, so if you want to ask questions, you ask them. They're going to be interpreting. So where's Kristen, Vanessa, and Jesse?
Woo!
And Jesse's also, this trip, he's our designated safety person.
Yeah.
If you have any problems or a child or any kind of thing, go see him first.
I feel safer already.
What's the native thing I can do here, Jesse?
Hold on, he's not done talking.
He's not done talking. Okay, and then so for all the sciencey staff, there's myself and Dr. Dave.
Woo! Get out today!
Dr. Jumping Lang, the curator.
Woo!
And then this year we have Ashley Farrell, who's the collection manager of the Page.
Yeah.
Woo!
And Laura, who's the next curator of the Page.
Yeah.
Woo!
Cameron, who's going to be on our side this year.
Yeah.
And then Ranger Matt is going to come along with us.
Yay!
We've done that.
He's off duty.
Oh crap.
I am off. Okay, so
There's Bob. Oh, Bob.
Okay, so we're in a
Bob?
state park. We're in a collecting state park. All the fossils are protected. It's a state park, and we have a collecting permit to do so. So you're basically helping us collect fossils. So you guys can't take anything home with you. So anything we do find does go back to the museum or comes back to the state park. So everything here is protected, including the fossils. So the idea is, if you don't want to even take a rock away. If everybody takes a rock, there's not anything, or you will branch or tree. So make sure we don't disturb anything, or if you do decide to pick some stuff along the way, make sure you just leave it here. Don't take it home with you. So I'm going to introduce Jesse now to talk about.
One thing. Because it's a state park, we don't kill things. We don't step on things. Even if, scorpions, oh, they're going to hurt us. Well, they got here first, so just walk around, leave them alone. Snakes, if you like them, leave them alone. Jesse can tell you more about what we do.
We're going to find friends that we
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, so like Dr. Dave was saying, we are out in the desert, right? And we will find we may see a lot of desert animals. We found some scorpions last night. You guys just found some today. So if you see any wild animal whatsoever, whether it's a snake or a scorpion or anything, observe it from a distance. Let somebody know. We don't want to mess with them. Just leave them right where they are. When you're out in the field or here in camp, common sense things, if you see a crevice, nice and shady, that would be a great place for a snake to hide, right? So only put your hands in places that you can see. Don't, reach inside holes and things like that. As far as here in camp, you want to just remember to be very careful on the rocks and things around here. Please remember to wear shoes here in camp because you could step on a scorpion. There is broken glass here in camp also, so anytime you're here in camp, you don't have to wear hiking shoes, but some kind of foot protection, sandals are fine. What else? Today, please remember to drink lots of water today. It'll keep you safe, it'll make you feel a whole lot better at the end of the day. Sunblock is very important. Getting sunburned out here does not make for a very fun trip, so please wear sunscreen. If you don't have any, we have some here in the staff. We can get you some of that. What else? Just remember to stay, fairly close to the group when we're out. We're going to be splitting off into smaller groups, but if you need anything, find somebody with a radio, and they can get in touch with, either me or Ranger Matt or somebody if you need, a Band-Aid or something like that, or something serious. If you start to feel really bad, really tired out in the field, take a seat, find some shade, come back to the vehicles. What else? Don't overexert yourself. If there's no need to be running around and being crazy, save your energy. That'll also help you out, make you feel a whole lot better at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an ice pick. Is there anything special I should do with that for safety?
You should.
Is there a special way to hold it?
I would hold it handle side out. When you're walking around with it, hold the sharp end in your hand. And that way,
Well, if I'm holding the handle in my hand, should I hold it up or down?
I would preferably hold it down.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was carrying it, I would.
Don't walk around with it like this. That's a bad idea.
Right, yeah. Or this. This is a bad way to walk with it. So, thanks. Be safe. If you have any questions, just let us know.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah. Woot.
I have two other things along those lines. There, within the campground on the loop, there is a speed limit of 15 miles an hour. So if you guys do drive, make sure you observe that. Also, the designated kitchen area is over there. So while we're getting ready for meals, please stay out of that area. So we'll try and hang out there. So when it's time to eat, then we can all go in that area. Okay, so we're all here to collect fossils, right?
Yay!
Lena. No dinosaur fossils. Fossils here are between 12 to 8 million years old, so we're looking at terrestrial mammals that live here, and we'll take a look at some of those. So the first one, Dave is bringing out.
Anna. I'm Anna. I touch things.
Okay, what does this look like? For people who are new, what does that look like? Tusk. Okay, this is a tusk not of an elephant, but of a distant relative of the elephant we had here called a gomphothere. And this was about Indian elephant size, but also they had what distinguished gomphotheres, they had upper and lower tusks. This is a lower tusk. And sometimes gomphotheres are called shovel tuskers because their tusks were flat, and then they would use that to scoop up food or vegetation or things like that. So that's probably the largest one we have out there.
They have an enamel, that black strap you see is what's left of the enamel. The tusk is all dentin, it's ivory. So it's the internal part of our tooth is what elephant tusks are made of. These guys still have one little stripe of enamel on them.
The next thing. That's a lower jaw of what? Yeah.
Well, you said rhino.
That's a rhino.
Stop listening.
Stop listening. That's what this is covered. Okay, so we did have rhinos out here. So the rhino out here was very different than the one that you would typically from Africa or Asia. This was more like a hippo. It was very short-legged and barrel-chested, and it probably did wallow around in water. It's called a curiosity. I'm not going to say it.
No.
We'll do this next. Okay. So what is it?
What is it?
It's a this.
Jawbone
of horse. Okay, but the horses out here were small. Okay, let's back up. Okay, horses today have how many toes?
One.
No, one.
We got the right answer
Yeah.
finally.
There's two.
No, it's one.
What?
One.
No,
One
they have two
toe.
toes, I thought.
On one foot.
On one foot.
On one foot. How many toes on one foot?
I thought they had two.
One. Okay.
Have you ever looked at a horse?
Yes, they have a glue between their shoes.
What do they put? What's the metal thing they put on it?
It's like a horseshoe.
Okay, how many horseshoes on
do
one
they
foot?
put on one foot?
One. It's like the
Okay.
horseshoe.
but horses here.
The great debate.
I have 5 toes. Like, go all the way around my one
Okay,
shoe.
during about 10 minutes. Okay, during time period we're talking about, so 9-10 million years ago, horses here were 3-toed. Okay, and they actually had 2 side toes that were slightly reduced. So if they stood on there, they're probably all 3 toes would be straight. And they're very simple. So, and they're very diverse, and we have about, like Dave said last night, about 7 different types of horses. Look at that.
Were the 7 different types of horses all around at the same time, or were they at different periods?
Good question. He's my
Most,
horse
well,
man.
let's see, a lot of them were, about half of them probably were around at the same time. Five of them, yeah.
Where we're collecting this morning.
We're going to be up higher. Okay, this is one.
The most common thing.
The most common thing we find here.
Trogulid.
This is actually about there if you were standing. It's about that big.
So we did have camels here. So camels actually did evolve in North America. Their whole 40 million year history, pretty much in North America. They didn't leave North America. So, but that's the most common thing we find. That's more of the camel. So that's actually
Right there, that bone right there. Of one of those tall giraffe-like guys.
Uber camel.
Now this one's kind of interesting. That's the other thing we have is this part. It says it's not broken. It's actually if you look at this, there's actually marks on here. It's actually been chewed off by a carnivore. That's a jammy. Okay, so this is more of the camel. So we know we have different sizes of moose in there.
We didn't get them. This is that bone right there in your ankle. And when the thing is born, it's already full size, so they don't grow bigger. So these are 3 different kinds of camels. And there are actually 2 more sizes. If we got all of them here.
Yeah. How do you know it didn't grow?
Because when it, particularly an animal that depends upon getting a walking with its mother, as soon as it's born, you can't have soft uniform bones or it can't walk. Human babies are softer and not fully developed because we don't have to get up and run to survive. But these guys, these bones are fully developed by the time they're born. And so they don't get bigger, and that's why we know these are different kinds.
Must be a terrible labor.
Well, how does that work today with like baby animals, like other babies that have to walk?
Baby horses today, when they're born, are baby camels. This bone would be virtually fully developed at birth. Because within hours they can stand up and walk. You try to stand a human baby up within hours.
Are you saying just those bones are fully grown, but not the entire animal?
There are no, the long bones have a mechanism by which they can grow. These bones do not. And talk in detail about the difference in the growth area in long bones where growth takes place. These bones just like teeth. When you grow your teeth, once the tooth is grown, it doesn't get bigger.
Oh, you want to go in?
Yeah, yeah, do that.
Okay, that's a horn core of antelope we get down here. So we do have antelope.
Dr. Dave the Jackalope.
Unfortunately, we won't be finding this where we're going. We'll find jaws of this similar kind of creature. But this is related to we were talking about it last night, those white-blooded things that run away from you in the desert, North American. This particular species, we're not going to get as high in the section. We might get this afternoon. I'd like to find a piece of this afternoon because we never have, but it should be there.
Wish list.
Okay, what's
Fido.
Fido!
Yeah, it's some dog. Like a
okay?
dog.
This is something that
Like a dog
Jiaming
dog.
cities. This
A dog
is a
bone crushing dog that we have out here. So this is part of the front end of the skull. So you notice most of the fossils, or all the fossils we find pretty much are parts. We don't find any, skeletons or articulate things, so we're going to be looking for parts of things. So if we find something like this,
That gets you 2 desserts.
yeah. Plus dinner. Okay, so based on all those, we have all these large animals. So what was there a desert back, say, 9 million years ago?
Yeah.
No.
Probably not. So there was running water, and there was like out here. So the desert is actually, because the largest thing in a desert today is what? What's the largest thing? That's an animal.
Camel?
Is it camels? No, it's
A rock?
not here.
Coyote?
Here.
Living.
Living today here.
Us.
The
We were
tortoise.
listening to one last night.
Coyote.
Terrible.
Coyote.
We're bigger than coyotes.
Like coyotes are large.
I'm bigger than a coyote.
So back 9 years, we had these elephant-like things running around. All right, you guys have any questions?
No?
No questions?
Just one last thing for the parents and for the kids. Parents, keep an eye on your kids. Make sure they can always be in eyeshot of you. Kids, keep an eye on your parents. Make sure you can always see them. If you're in camp, kids, if you're going to go hiking somewhere, tell your parents where you're going. Don't do anything you're not comfortable with. If you go up here, okay, don't overdo it and get yourself stuck.
You have to come down.
Okay, so we got to go up and get you.
We'll throw you off.
Okay, now I'm going to take everybody over there. We're going to talk about how to collect fossils. Well, we're probably doing one of two things, but mainly one. We're going to do what's called prospecting. Okay, so we're not going to go to a place and find fossils and start digging a hole. Okay, we're not going to be doing that. Because everywhere you look up to the horizon, everywhere around here and even on the other side, all these rocks have fossils in them. Okay, but it's just a matter of finding them. Okay, in some places you have a better chance of finding fossils, in some places you don't. Okay, but the point is, all the rocks you see potentially could have fossils in them. So we don't necessarily go to one particular place and start digging up a skeleton or something like that. Okay, but what we do is we call prospecting, which means you have to go walk around looking at the ground for evidence of fossils or fossil bone. Okay, so the more ground you cover, the more possibility of finding things. And what we're looking for are things like this initially. Okay, and that's a piece of a bone fragment. Okay, I'll pass that. I should pass that on. And this around. Okay, so and usually you have to find that sitting on the ground amongst all the stuff and rocks. You go, well, how do I find that, right? How do I find that piece of bone? Okay, normally what I would recommend is not necessarily color, because people want to lock into color. Now, that sometimes works, but all the time doesn't, because all these areas we go look for, in one given area, the bones could be anywhere from black to beige to white to a range of colors. So that necessarily doesn't always work. So I usually first go by shape. And bone fragments usually break, and bones usually break pretty much at right angles. Okay, and rocks don't do that, right? Rocks are pretty angular. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking for first. Okay, so if you're looking on the ground, you go, oh, there's some bone fragments, right? And you get all excited, and you go and you pick it up, right? And you walk away, right?
No.
Wrong! You don't do that. Okay, so what you do first, you go, okay, you know there's bone fragments, you get excited, that's fine, but don't start running around and trampling around, because there could be more. What's going on? So then that tells you, okay, that's your first evidence that yes, there's stuff here. Then maybe this is a good place to start looking more carefully, and that's what it tells you. Okay, so that's what you do. Then you start looking, then usually, if you're on it, this would probably be on a slope. If you find bones down here, down slope, because we're on a little slope, then you go, well, let's see, where are these bones? They gotta be coming out of the ground somewhere, right? Because if they're probably coming from higher, because they're probably eroding out or breaking up and then falling down a slope. So then you start taking it, go, there's one there, and you go, oh, what's this? Right? You know, there's something, and that's what you want to find. You want to find something in the ground. Okay, and that's when we go to step 2. We switch into we're going to dig stuff up mode, right? Excavation mode. And that's when you call, don't start digging it. Okay, because bones are very fragile in the ground, even though if they look pretty solid. They all have breaks and cracks, and what's holding that bone together is actually the surrounding rock. So if you start removing all the dirt or rock around it, the bone's just going to disintegrate, and you go, oh, what happened to that? Okay. So at that point, you can call Dave, Jumming, myself, Cameron, Ashleen, Laura, and also Kristen has some geology and Taylor background. She used to be an excavator at Pit 91 La Brea. So call any of us, and we'll try to be pretty much spread out, and then we'll come and take a look at it and see if we need to go take it any further. Okay, because also if it does end up being something important, we all have at least Dave, Xiaoming, and I have field notebooks. Okay, and that's when we start recording. We'll take GPS data and I'll record it and who found it, and that becomes the official record. Okay, and then when we take that and it goes into the museum and it gets cataloged into collections, then your name gets forever in the museum that you found it.
Can we go visit it?
You could go visit it. Yes, you can. Call Xiaoming. You can go visit it. What can let me finish. I'll ask questions at the end. Okay, I'll ask questions at the end. Let me finish this part first. Okay, so then we'll come over and then and it's not this easy. This is for demonstration purposes only. But we'll go, oh look, and we go, dig. Right? Time lapse. You go here, you go up to here, and you go, oh look, it's a whole bone, right? That's really cool. Okay, then at that point, what we'll do, we won't take this out of the ground because it's pretty fragile, right? Because we want to try to keep things in most intact as possible. So we'll put a hardener or a glue on here first to keep all the pieces together. Then what we'll do is we'll make a field jacket, plaster field jacket. So we'll dig a trench around this and get the bone up on a pedestal of rock. And then we actually have little plaster bandages that are instant bandages that you use if you break your arm to make casts with it, the same thing. So we make a cast of the bone, put that over the bone, and then we take it and off we go. That's the process of jacketing. Okay, and so hopefully we do that today, but we'll see, I don't know. Okay, you guys got questions?
So, do you get to take it home?
No. Because why? Why don't you get it? Because this is a state park, everything's protected, and so we have a permit. So actually you're collecting for the museum, which is cool, right? That's neat. Because
you can visit it.
You can go visit the fossil. Yes.
I've found some fossils down there. There are two tiny bone fragments, and they were pretty cool. And then they seem to be coming from the legend ceiling.
Yeah, they usually come from up high. So sometimes, so always be careful where you go out to find it. But sometimes you may just find this. I mean, there may not be this. I mean, a lot of times it's going to be this, but that's good. Anything else? You had a question, Megan?
It's like when after we find some, like we go back to the museum, like how do we go see them? Like we go to the museum and say,
okay, what you do? What you do is you get in contact with Dr. Xiaoming Wang, have him call him or email him, and then make an appointment. And say, I want to come and look at it, and then he'll go, okay.
Yeah.
Come and see it.
Okay. And you could invite your friends to go see it.
Sure, yeah. Invite people and friends and family, and because we've had people over the years come and visit their fossil, like multiple times. so yeah, so we do that. Okay, any more questions? Okay, so one last thing, make sure it's going to be really warm this morning. Okay, so I know everybody's all excited, but don't, everybody at least probably will find at least bone fragments. Okay? Oh, that's for vehicles. Okay, so some of you guys, we asked that if you have high clearance vehicles, if it's two wheel, it's okay. We're going to ask if we could have you carpool with other people. I think if a handful of you guys do, I think we should be okay with vehicles. But if not, we're going to start lining the vehicles up. So if you don't have a high clearance vehicle, you just find a ride with somebody else. But for those of you who do have high clearance, can you please bring those out?
So,
no, we're going to ride with
them. What, do we drive up and wait for them?
Okay, yeah. Well,
all right, here we are at the first locality that we're going to go search. Hopefully we'll find something good. I hope I find something worthwhile. Yep. Out in the desert. Now the search continues. I still haven't found anything worthwhile yet, because I suck. But I just found this large splinter of bone. Maybe there's more around here. Need to keep my pitiful eyes peeled. Just more of the landscape. Still have not found anything beyond that splinter of bone. Looks like I've failed yet again. I feel so useless.
You might run into the teens too. I think they're over there as well. 10-4.
Oh. Part of a camel jaw that our ranger buddy here found.
All I ever find are root casting.
You and me both.
Not anymore.
Yeah. You and me both. And another hunk of bone. Yep. Still nothing. At least for me. I mean, there's just root casts everywhere, but nothing truly exciting to cross my path. Oh, well, look at that. A little hunk of bone in the wash. The problem is it's down here in the wash, so it really could have come from anywhere. Did it come from there? Could have come all the way from back there and then got washed down. Maybe come out of here. We'll never know. The Dove Spring Formation has busted me yet again. Now, this piece and this piece both found in the wash, so God knows where they came from. Well, it's time to go back to camp for lunch, and then it'll be more fossil hunting. Probably more Phelan for me. Alright, Saturday afternoon. We're at site number 2. Let's hope we have better luck than this morning. Hopefully we'll be getting going soon. Everyone's showing up. The search has commenced. There's an old chair. Yeah, and basically, yeah, this is the geology. They said the stuff here is about 11 million years old. There's Ranger Matt, who found the camel teeth earlier. This is gonna suck. Update. My luck appears to be even worse. All I found so far is this sort of glazed rock and a bullet. Apparently, prehistoric predators got tired of having to try to run down their prey, so they just started shooting at them. Alright. Status report. Found 3 bone fragments. These 3 here. These 2 I found together, but they led nowhere. And then a little while later I found this one here, which also led nowhere. So that brings my total to 5 items, which is still less than this morning. In fact, technically it's 4 because a bullet. It's not really special or interesting or even relevant to paleontology. Damn you, Dove Spring Formation. Why do you torment me so? I mean, anything. I'll take anything. A tooth, a distal limb fragment. I'll even take a hunk of bear dog crap. Anything. Alright.
Oh, at least I found something.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was my first horse.
Mr. Nico found this little horse bone.
Help slide it down.
Woot. You can see here.
Horse is course.
Nico found a horse bone. The end of one, rather.
Oh, what's the difference between a hand on a horse and the foot on the horse?
One's at the head, one's at the butt.
At the top way over there? No.
Yep. You can see here, got to record the GPS coordinates.
Yeah, he's thinking. He's thinking. Do you have to tell what type of rock there was here? That must be a pain. So now I have to do geology.
Do geology too. Oh. Yeah, GPS cam? Yeah, it's there. You want numbers? Yes, please. 2. Oh, 2. Let's see.
Oh, he's just hanging out.
Encounter with desert fauna.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah, he is really nicely colored.
Yeah. Kind of like a sidewinder.
Really?
Did he rattle earlier?
I don't think so.